Hi, AgeDEFYers. I'm so excited to be here today. I am bringing you your first edition of the weekly body knowledge series. So every week I'm going to come to you and I'm going to provide you guys with a clinic, a body knowledge clinic, a movement clinic. And these clinics are going to be inspired by my current AgeDEFYers, the people that are at home right now doing these workouts. When they come to me, when I check in with them, or when something goes on in a workout, or if they're feeling something new, or if they're feeling something that doesn't feel great, they'll write to me and then I will coach them through it, right? We'll make little adjustments, we'll find our way. And as we do that, we continue to progress. And the reason why we continue to progress, even though there's some barriers to the program, even though you will wake up on some of the days during the program and say, what, this does not feel good, that's going to happen to you, and we have to just keep moving forward, and we have to find a way to move forward. And that is where I come into play. That is where coaching is so valuable, because this is what has inspired this clinic, and you will understand why a little bit more by the time I'm finished. So a current AgeDEFYer, she just started phase 2 of AgeDEFY. Phase 2 is where we introduce weights, a body bar, a 12-pound body bar, and I introduced my program called Sculpt Flow. It's basically DeFi flow with weights. It's based off the old school yoga sculpt program of the Core Power brand, okay? So this is just a softer, more movement therapy-based program using a 12-pound body bar, but new movement, new results. But at first, you get new movement, new frustrations, new ways to move, new ways to breathe, and then you get new results. So I wish I could put all that in there, but that just isn't a good marketing thing, right? So new movement, new results. And then where I come to play is coaching you in the middle, because when you introduce a new movement to the body has a 50-50 chance to either respond right away with like, yes, this is exactly what I've been looking for, or it has a chance to respond with, ouch, what are you doing to me? I haven't even used these muscles for a long time, or I don't even know, it's confusion. So it tightens up, everything tightens up. And it can happen in the weirdest places. And so, especially when you add a load to new movement, okay? So there's a risk to movement, there is. But the movement that has the greatest potential to harm you, on the other end of the spectrum, has the greatest potential to heal you. What I need to do is get you into where the movement is medicine, okay? So yes, all movement, it doesn't matter what it is. You could pick a pillow off the floor and you could injure your back, right? But you didn't injure your back picking a pillow off the floor. You injured your back because it was on its way already. All the things that had been going on, all the communication that you were already feeling, it could just take one little movement. It doesn't have to take a workout movement to happen, but when it happens, it happens. And what we want to do is realize that the body went into like a flight thing or a freeze, right? So movement reveals all. So yes, this goes back to my last body knowledge clinic. Be grateful for your pain, say thank you, okay? So I know this is gonna get too long, so I'm gonna go ahead and move forward. But where I'm going with is, she did the first workout, she introduced the body bar, new movement, new frustrations, new ideas, new breaths, go beyond it, new results, okay? So we're just at the new frustrations. And right now that frustration is showing up in the neck. The neck is tight. So I'm gonna do, right now, we're gonna end this with a quick movement therapy session for the neck, okay? And where it is, it isn't. So we're gonna begin with the wrists, the elbows, the shoulders, the thoracic mid-spine, and then we're gonna start to release the neck, okay? So here we go. Go ahead, don't worry about it. You don't need to do any of this stuff. If something looks like you wanna try, you can try. You don't have to get in this position. I would suggest watch this, listen to what I say as I move. This is Bruiser. Listen to what I say as I move, and then repeat it later tonight before you go to bed or early tomorrow morning, okay? Turn it back on and just do the class. Okay, so let me get Bruiser out of the way. Okay, so from here, I'm gonna come into all fours, but the all fours in AgeDEFY, I'm sorry, let me put my dog up. Come on, come. Okay, so all fours in this in this practice right here, we're gonna do it with the big toes touching and the knees open. So not knees right underneath the hips, but knees open and big toes touching. The sit bones pull up away from the back of the knees, so you're getting constant lengthening action here. The inner thighs spin back and the sit bones go towards the wall behind you. Good, and then you pull the belly in and up, and you don't round the lower back, but you widen the lower back. And then you place the hands to the ground, make any adjustments you need to. Go forward into the fingertips, good. And then from here, we know internal and external rotation. So I'm gonna go this front shoulder, internal rotation. I'm not gonna move my head, I'm just gonna go as far as I can for internal rotation, shoulder, elbow, wrist, thumb. Then I go internal rotation, shoulder, elbow, wrist, and then I feel like my thumb's pushing forward on the floor, but my hand doesn't move, but my bicep becomes very strong, so is my tricep. Let's try that again. Internal rotation, shoulder, elbow, wrist, thumb. Keep the elbows soft, don't lock it out, keep it soft. Start in the shoulder, external rotation, shoulder, elbow, wrist, thumb. Good, flex. Good, let's do it one more time. Internal. External. Switch to this other shoulder. Internal, shoulder, elbow, wrist, thumb. Keep your gaze forward. External, shoulder, elbow, wrist, thumb. Keep your gaze forward. Flex the bicep, flex the tricep, the back of the arm, and the front of the arm. Good. Internal rotation, shoulder, elbow, wrist, thumb. You should feel like your thumb wants to move back, but it doesn't, it just wants to. Start in the shoulder, external rotation, shoulder, elbow, wrist, thumb. Feel the thumb pressing energetically forward and at an angle. One more time, internal, external. Pause, push the hips back, give your wrists a break, come up onto the fingertips. Good. Now from here, slide the fingertips to the knee and take the back of the hand to the ground. So I'll get out of your way. Good. And then I lift and I slide the fingertips back out in front. Press down, slide fingertips to the knee. Go slow to the back of the hand. Come up, slide fingertips forward, pushing through the fingertips, fingers strong. Nice, breathe. Now from here, slide the hips back, let the heels open, go back with the hips as far as you can. Start to push the shins towards the ground, breathe. Lower the heels of your hands. Both shoulders internally rotate as you come forward over the fingertips. Good. Now externally rotate the shoulders as you tuck the toes. And from here, lift your knees and pull your thighs to your belly. Keep your gaze in between your thumbs. Knees open, heels together. Good. Don't move your head. Start to go from your shoulders to your elbows, to your wrists, your thumbs, internal. Create that space, move forward. External, lower the knees to the ground. So good. Slide the tops of your feet flat. One more movement. Move your hips back. Let your heels go wide. Nice. Come back to your center. Now feel the shoulder blades on your back. Draw the tips of your shoulder blades together as you externally rotate both shoulders. So pull the shoulders out, back, and feel the tips of your shoulder blades come together. That's going to naturally lift your gaze out in front of you. Don't let your belly drop. Keep the belly strong. Now from here, watch what I do. I'm going to sink the top part of my shoulder blades together and sink the center of my chest down to the ground. Don't force, allow. Now from here, I'm going to adjust. Whatever doesn't feel good, find a way to make it feel good. Center of my chest is melting, but my belly is pulling in. The scapula, the two shoulder blades are coming together on the spine. Flex the biceps, front of the arms. Press with your fingertips. Now, you're going to start to push through your hands. Start to pull in from the pelvic floor to the navel, to the center of the chest. Spread the shoulder blades wide. Don't round the spine. Just spread the shoulder blades as wide as you can. Don't lose your gaze. Breathe. Now slowly drop back into it. Shoulder blades together. Melt through the chest. Breathe. Hold here. Now, kind of wiggle it out, let it feel good. From here, go ahead and try to drop your chin slowly. Good. Now start to just explore as you internally rotate one shoulder and externally rotate the other. Don't move your head, but just go internal rotation and external rotation, following that line where it goes shoulder, elbows, wrists, thumbs. I'm not moving my head, I'm just letting my head follow my body. My body follows my gaze. Come to center. Slowly sink the chest, squeeze the shoulder blades. Draw forward with the gaze. Good. Perfect. Now start to press and widen the mid-back. Good. Now suck up through the pelvic floor, up through the navel. Push the floor away. Suck in through your chest. Don't move the head too much. Just follow the gaze. Look between your knees. Come up onto your fingertips. So good. Without moving the head, start to push down through the knees. Suck up from the pelvic floor into the navel. Slide your fingertips to your knees. And we're going to do full scapular rotations. Lift up through the center of your chest. Rotate the shoulders back. Pull the chest forward. Now from here, pull the hips back. Pull the shoulders forward. Suck the chest in. Round the spine. And then come up. Full scapular rotations. Try not to move the head at all. Just follow your gaze. Internally and externally rotate the shoulders. Create spinal movement. One more time. Now, find the space between. Pause. I'm going to turn to the front so you can see how I get up. So right here, this might be too much for some of you on your knees. And if you can't stand on your knees, you need to contact me and we need to get you started on AgeDEFY right away because you should be able to do this. This is an indicator of how well your body can handle age. So make sure that this is a workout that you can do. Movement reveals all. If you can't, please, 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 let's start AgeDEFY. But if you have been down here with me, we don't just go on our knees this whole time and then stand straight up. Hinge, butt up, chest down. Good. I'm going to turn to the side. Pause. To get our feet to open, we're going to hug our upper inner thighs. Hug together. Now, push the heels apart. Yes. Now, tuck your toes. Push through the balls of your feet. Push your hands into the ground. Lift your shins. Gaze forward, tiger. Hug your inner thighs. Push the ground away. Walk your heels to the ground. Slide your fingertips toward your toes. Look between your feet. Suck up through the center of your chest. Rise up into that big scapular rotation. Find the space between. Yes. And that should make you feel so good. Maybe not the first time around, but I promise you, if you can start to get these movements, if you can get this freedom in this movement, neck tightness and pain will show up less and less for you, and that's what we're here for. All right, you guys ready? You take your feet wide into your AgeDEFY stance. One Uwe flow. Reach your arms out and up. Tap the backs of your hands. Flip your palms. Push the walls aside. Soften your knees. Go into a big scapular rotation. Go back into a hip hinge. Touch your butt to the wall. Come into a standing position. Reach forward and up. Releve. Work the wobble. I say it. We all say it. Uwe. Nice work. All right. I hope you loved it. Hope it felt great. If something was revealed to you, if movement reveals what you're not paying attention to, right? That's especially this movement. I move you this way so you can start to pay attention to what you can and cannot do. And what we need to do is focus on what you cannot do so that you can do it. So if you cannot handle a kneeling exercise, if your wrist hurt, if your lower back hurt during any of these movements, don't ignore it. Let's get you started. AgeDEFY, let's go. Sorry about the let's go. I just got excited.